Hey friends, and welcome back to another episode of Raider Report. I'm your host, Leigh Waldman, and as you can see, Spencer Grewatts is not here. He left us for the week, but we actually have Matthew Cardenas joining us.
I miss you, Spencer, by the way. Miss you, man. Hope to see you back.
He has better hair than Spencer.
That is true.
We also are joined by a very, very special guest, the president of the Ultimate Frisbee team, Sam Khun. I'm hoping I'm saying that right.
Yeah, good pronunciation.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
No
so
problem.
we're really excited to have you on. So how long have you been a part of the Ultimate Frisbee team at Tech?
So I'm a senior this year. Came out freshman year to the first practice. So it's been a little over 3 years. It'll be 4 at the end of the year. And it's been great. I really enjoyed my time here at Tech and especially with the club. And so it's been good for me, and I've learned a lot about the sport as well.
So is it like a fast-paced sport? Like what does the game entail? I personally have never seen Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
Yeah, it is. Whenever people ask me, I always want to go on YouTube because it's just easier to show clips of it. The scoring aspect's very similar to football, so there's an end zone, and so that's kind of the only sport besides rugby I can compare it to in terms of the offense. But there's a lot of transitions and turnovers, very similar to basketball.
Okay.
So there's a lot of up and down the field, kind of very similar to how basketball is played. And the main difference just between football and ultimate is the movement of the disc. So you're obviously not playing with football. You have a frisbee, and that's something that the holder of the disc can't move. And so that's kind of
really?
the main kind of caveat.
So
to
it
how
can't
it's
take
difficult.
any steps once he gets the ball?
People say people say 2 or 3,
you know what I
but
mean.
it's just you stop your momentum. So if I were to be going downhill and I caught the disc, I would want to stop immediately. There's no hop, skipping, and jumping as far as I can out of the. It's just essentially you want to stop as fast as possible, and then that's when your offense gets going. You have people moving toward you that can move without the disc. So it's very similar to football. If you can imagine the quarterback not being able to scramble or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. So how does someone just grab the disc from you? Do they tackle? How do they get the disc from you?
Yeah, so the defense will be stall counting whoever's handling, and so they have about 10 seconds to throw the disc. And because they're not moving, it's the responsibility of the other 6 players on the field besides the handler to catch the disc. So they're trying to get open. It's very fast-paced, and due to that fact, there's a lot of turnovers, like I said earlier. And so as an athlete on the field, you're running back and forth constantly. As opposed to in football, you're kind of just moving in one general direction, and it's slower paced because of the play calling and things like that. Whereas in ultimate, like basketball, it's just kind of during a longer period of time that you're in live action.
Okay.
Is there somebody who actually keeps track of the time, for how long you have it, or can you? Or is
Yeah,
it
so
just
that's the defense responsibility. So you'll be stalled by another opponent. So you'll have the disc, and you'll be hearing them count. They'll typically say stall, and then they'll be kind of trying to defend your throw, and they'll count to 10. And on the T of 10, if you still have the disc, it's a turnover.
Do you just drop it?
Oh, okay.
Or you just hand it over to them?
Yeah, I'll probably drop it because that's a little too friendly. If you want to just give it to them.
I'm not gonna be
But,
hey, here's the disc, man.
Yeah,
You go ahead.
exactly.
You go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many players are there on the Ultimate Frisbee team here at Tech?
There's about 35 active,
Oh, wow.
which is a pretty strong showing. We took about 25 consistently to our last 2 tournaments. And so that's really nice, being able to get a lot of players to these tournaments. A lot of them are veterans. We do have a pretty big rookie class this year, which is great for any program, getting a lot of young guys that are typically relatively athletic for in comparison to the older guys on the team. They maybe don't have the intangibles yet, but they are very athletic, and they are excited, and that's really promising, I think, for the future and for this coming year too.
That's awesome.
So what we have is Frisbee trick shots that we want to show you.
Yeah, you said it was a little easier to show in YouTube, so we found someone.
Yeah. Is his name Brody Smith?
Oh, where did we find it? We
I don't
found
know
on
what his name is.
ultimatefrisbeehq.com/trickshot.
Good channel.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Check it
So
The first one is called the airbrush.
Airbrush.
He just gets it and hits it.
Ooh.
So we're
I don't
going
know how
to
we
be
did
coming
that.
up with these hashtags. So
Okay.
looking at this, come up with a little hashtag and kind of your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
My handwriting is so bad.
Mine actually is too. I don't have girly handwriting.
Airbrush mag.
Okay. These are gonna be great. I don't like. Do you know how to do this stuff? I can't even imagine how I would do any of this. But
I can't even just throw a frisbee just like regularly.
Yeah, I can't either. So here's our hashtags. My hashtag is hashtag use the force because like looking at it, it looks like he's not even touching it. It's like use the force, Luke. So that's kind of what I'm.
Mine is Wingardium Leviosa. That's from Harry Potter. I've never seen Harry Potter, but the guys on the set told me to use it. So I used it. I mean, I don't know what this person does, but it sounds pretty cool, so I'm gonna ride with it.
Yeah.
What's yours?
This is a little tricky. In my sleep.
In my sleep.
Not because I could do it in my sleep, but because I would have to be dreaming in order to do that.
Oh,
I feel
that's
that.
a good
I feel
one.
that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Fooled you.
I don't even think I could do that in my
'Cause
sleep.
whenever
Even
I-
sleep me's
Don't
nothing
think so.
creative.
Whenever I read it, I saw it in my sleep, I was like, oh.
Oh, he's
guess
talented.
this guy
A
thinks
little
it's really
confident.
easy.
No, not the
No.
case. Yeah.
Okay, so our next one we have is the air bounce. So go in, bounce it up. So
Looks almost
Hashtags.
fake.
I know it kind of does. I don't understand how the physics of that works. I didn't pass physics in high school, but it's okay.
I didn't even get the physics.
It was like required for my school, and so
Oh no, it was for mine too, but I just didn't make it.
Oh.
It's okay. I'm here, right?
Yeah.
I'm good.
you made it. Okay, I did hashtag skirt because you know a little sound car makes when it swerves. That's what the disc is looking like to me.
I
Hashtag
did hashtag wahoo! Because if you haven't played Mario, this is the sound that Mario makes whenever he jumps. And it like basically like,
Looks like it's
wahoo!
jumping.
It's like exactly how he does it.
Yeah.
All right, I did hashtag needed. Any good handler needs to have the air bounce down in order to be productive. So
Really?
yeah, hashtag needed. Very, very necessary.
So you know how to do that?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a high air bounce, but if you take the angle a little bit more aggressive, it'll go out a little bit farther.
Is that easy? Is that like something easy for you to do?
No, it is, but it's all about like how you hold the disc in your hand. You're going to be releasing it from your thumb.
Oh,
So,
okay.
it's a lot about just how you release the disc too and getting that shoulder low, like you see there. That's a good one though.
The next one we have is called the dad backhand.
So I guess when the description of this one is like how you think your dad would toss a frisbee.
That's pretty impressive. Oh, I wish my dad could do that.
My dad is not very athletic. He broke his ankle trying to play golf. I don't know how you do that.
Hey man, things happen. I'm so excited to use this.
I put hashtag you your daddy's son just because that song's out right now and it was in my head earlier. And it's a dad pass. Dad bod.
The one that I use is "You're not my dad" from the famous Vine, where they're like, "You're not my dad," because my dad actually can't do that, so it's not my dad.
Very nice. My misspelled dad with no possessive
It's
punctuation.
okay.
Dads know best.
Dads do know best.
That young man who's catching it, probably gonna be a great Ultimate player one day.
Probably. Did you ever play Ultimate with your dad?
Yeah, he's more of a football kind of guy.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
Kinda
they're kind of
runs in the
similar.
family.
kind of taught me how to throw a football.
That's cool.
But
I feel like that might be helpful.
Runs in the
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Does.
So our next one is the kick pass. So I'm gonna check this out here. See, all these things look like to me like they don't even get near it. They're just like blowing air at it.
I'm worried about the fact that he's on that rock.
Yeah.
Because if he slips a little bit, yeah, we're gonna have to call it a night.
No. I don't. It's like difficult. I was looking at it earlier. I was like, what is this? How do I come up with something for it?
I actually kind of want to try that. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like I would just kick it and then nothing would happen.
That guy's probably really good at punting a football too.
I did hashtag free kick because he doesn't even look like he's kicking it at all. It doesn't even look like he's touching it. He's just, again, using the force basically, but I couldn't use that twice.
Mine is hashtag Ronaldo, as in Cristiano Ronaldo, because he's really good at free kicks. So
Woo.
kind of fits the scenario a little bit.
I did no way because I wanted to use Ronaldo as well, but I didn't want to mess up the spelling.
Oh,
So, yeah.
it's okay.
Went with something simple. What a great pass. Don't think that would count in Ultimate though.
It wouldn't?
You don't
Would
think
not.
so?
He's so he's releasing the disc, and at that point, there's no contact being made. You can't have any contact with the disc after that.
Oh, so
But,
he is not a good Ultimate
He'd
player.
get a lot of applauses, but I don't think the defense will let that stand.
The next one we have is the basketball shot.
Mm.
It's a nice little form.
I think I could actually do that one. I feel like maybe. I might need a little stand to stand on, but.
Oh, this is going to be funny.
Oh, I feel like y'all should go at the same time.
Wanna
1,
do it?
2, 3, go.
Hashtag Kobe.
Great minds do think alike. I like LeBron more, but it'll slide.
I did hashtag Chef Curry, because you know,
Very nice.
who throws good threes? Chef Curry does.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's obviously the best. I feel like you were gonna attack me after I said
No.
Say so, my dude.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think that was a 3, but I'm sure that he would be able to make that.
Oh, he definitely would. He could make it
with
in
a
his
disc.
sleep. But so we're gonna have more with Sam after this little break, so stay tuned.
And welcome back. So a little known fact about Sam is that he's a huge basketball fan. So I already like you because you like basketball. I love basketball. So you're from the Bay Area, right?
Yeah, from
So-
Santa Cruz, California.
A lot of good basketball out there.
Yeah.
So who do you like? Lakers, Warriors, Clippers?
Yeah, I like any good basketball team that isn't too stacked, but has the
So
ability
you
to
don't like
perform
the
well.
Warriors?
Not particularly, no. I mean, I think it's interesting that they aren't doing as great as everyone thought initially.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of funny, but I don't hate on stacked teams. I just like the ones that can beat them better.
Have you ever gone to a game, Lakers game, or?
I've been to a Lakers Clippers preseason game, which was awesome. It was technically the Clippers were at home and everyone's in Kobe attire. This is before the Chris Paul, Blake Griffin era, so no one
that's
really.
a while ago, yeah.
So this is like when they were terrible, and this is when Kobe and I think Shaq had just separated, and so it was really Kobe's show. I think he scored like 12 points because it was a preseason, so it was a little bit disappointing, but. Yeah, I never really been a Warriors fan because they were so bad at the time. So
They've been bad for a good.
they have been.
Until they got Chef Curry.
Until they got Chef Curry.
And even that took a while. Even that took
Yeah.
a long
Yeah.
time. I mean, no one really knew who he was until
About 3 years ago.
4 years ago when he started making the crazy threes that we all see now. Yeah, I don't really like the Lakers anymore. I just don't have any incentive to follow them. They're not doing as well, and I don't really follow a lot of their players. But they have a lot of young talent, and I think in a few years they could definitely be a playoff team at the very least.
So you were a huge Kobe fan, though?
Yeah, like if you
So
were.
is it more Kobe? Is it more of a Kobe fan than a Lakers fan?
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
so as well. Yeah, I think it's very similar to like the Brett Favre fan base.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You know?
that makes sense.
Okay.
If Kobe were to go to like the Celtics, which is every Lakers' least favorite team, I
Yeah.
would still rep the Celtics just because
Really?
Kobe was on them. Yeah, which is like, don't get mad if you're a Lakers fan, but that's just how it is. But yeah, I don't really know what it was about him at a young age that I liked about him. I think he was just a very aggressive player that liked to score, and he didn't really care about being efficient or things of that nature. He just cared about getting the win at all costs, and I thought that was really neat, and I thought it was kind of cool that he didn't necessarily care about the efficiency and things like that. Yeah, definitely a big Kobe fan. I know a lot of different like quiz questions about him on Facebook. If you were to take
Oh,
any,
really?
like, do you know Kobe?
Yeah.
I'd probably score around 80 to 90. Something
Oh,
like
wow,
that.
so you
Yeah.
know Kobe.
Do you know where
Yeah.
Kobe went to high school?
Yeah, Laura Marion.
Good
Oh,
job,
wow.
like
I
it.
feel like we should get some like Kobe trivia like up here for you
So
to actually
what
test
do you
your
have like
knowledge.
top like 2 or 3 favorite Kobe memories?
Yeah, so when I say emotional, I mean like my heart just fell for him, but no tears. But his last game, real emotional.
That was.
Yeah.
I feel like that was
I teared
emotional as
up.
like a nation. Yeah, because like Kobe's just like one of the best well-known players.
Oh, absolutely.
So like as a nation, I feel like we kind of were like upset that Kobe.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. And then he scored the game winner. Everyone talks about his 60 points, but no
He
one
had
really,
the game winner.
He had the game winner as well. And he shot very efficiently in the second half too.
He took over that fourth quarter.
Took over. Everyone knew the ball was going to be in his hands.
It was pretty emotional for me. Like I'm a huge LeBron fan. I respect both. And even watching that game, if you appreciate basketball, it's just emotional.
Amen.
Well, you know, a well-known game in basketball is horse. So we're gonna take it to the Ultimate Frisbee field, and we're gonna play a little game of horse. We're gonna have you shoot some stuff, and we're gonna try and mimic you and try and see what y'all's practice is like. So
Good
check
stuff.
us out there. Okay, and welcome back. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching us play Frisbee as much as we enjoyed playing Frisbee with Sam. So, Sam, I know that you were saying that, you know, the Ultimate Frisbee team here at Tech is really successful. You guys just got first in your last tournament in Norman. What was that feeling like, just going, 6-0 against everyone you were competing against?
Yeah, it's big. I think more than the 6-0 win on that weekend, I think it was how we won. We didn't have particular competitive matchups, so going in that first half, we set ourselves up really well. And when we got into the second half, we kind of knew we had the win, and we just wanted to make sure that we didn't let them catch up whatsoever. So that was fun, being able to be confident. And typically, this early in the season, you don't have the privilege of letting your rookies get a lot of play time because you haven't developed them well enough yet, and that definitely wasn't the case for the JPN tournament, which was a couple weeks ago, or the first tournament at the Aggie Classic. Our freshmen have really stepped up, and they've been particularly productive, especially when you consider their age and their experience. And that's a huge factor that we utilize that not a lot of teams do. And then obviously getting in our veterans who have a lot of chemistry over the past 3, 4, 5 years, that's a huge benefit. And we're very fortunate to have a very deep team as well. So we believe that we have 2 different lineups basically that can beat any team.
That's awesome.
What other schools were in the tournament?
Yeah, so we personally played UNT, Arkansas, we played Texas State, we played OU, which felt awesome beating since they came over here and got the W on the football field. Then we played another club team. It wasn't a collegiate team. I'm blanking on the name.
Was it just like a local team, or?
It's a club team. So club teams are generally graduates of Ultimate that don't have a college to play for anymore, but they are maybe centralized in a city. So Dallas will have a club team, Austin has a club team, and those are accumulated from just players that maybe have graduated college yet, but they still want to play. This early on in the season, these tournaments are unsanctioned, so they can participate. And then we beat Marcus for the first place.
That's awesome. So do you think you're going to join a club team once you graduate? Because I know you're saying you're a senior.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've thought about. My first priority is getting a job somewhere, settling down. I'm hoping to move to Austin.
Oh, then
Good choice.
Easily find something there.
I'm also recently engaged too, so I have to make sure that wifey at the time
Congratulations.
approves of me, getting dirty on the field.
Yeah. When's the big day?
May 29th.
May 29th.
Austin.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Invite only. But yeah.
Oh, so that means we can't come?
If you find an invite, you're more than welcome to come.
So we can just do our own little
put it-
wedding
let's put it that-
crashers.
let's put it
We
that
won't
way.
eat anything at the reception.
We can make it a segment.
We'll just come down and crash.
No further questions.
I'm a really fun time, I swear.
I believe it. Y'all are fun. This is we're having fun here. Maybe. Well, I don't know. It's a big venue. I don't know if we could all fit our family in here, but.
Oh, we're
it's
gonna do it
be
here?
cool.
Perfect. I was gonna say we
Make
could
it
take the
happen.
road on the show, show on the
yeah.
road.
Yeah.
So you say that there's 2 halves in game, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long are they?
Ultimate's kind of cool. You play to a point, and so typically on a Saturday, which is pool play, that's kind of how you figure out how good these teams are. You'll play to normally 11 points, and or 11 to 13.
So it's like pickup kind of in a way? As in like pickup basketball? Is it kind of like that? Like
Yeah,
pool
but it's
play?
predetermined.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll know right away, games to 13, games to 11, and your half is always, you always play 1 extra point in the first half. So you'll typically play 6, 7 points a half, and then that second half you'll have less play time. But it's normally more competitive, so the second half tends to be longer because you're kind of figuring out the offense in the first half and the defense is in the first half, and then second half comes, you're able to play a little bit more aggressively and things like that.
So has the Tech team just ever gone and like annihilated someone, been done in a game like that?
We've done pretty well. I mean, we went 13-1 on OU.
Wow.
So it wasn't very close, but
Boo OU.
but they play well. I mean, it looks good on the scoreboard, but I mean, there are certain points that we had to take a while to score, and props to them. But yeah.
Are there
Which always
certain
better.
like, it's blanking on me. Oh, so like when you score, is it 1 point or? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can think of it as
Soccer.
yeah, exactly. You'll have in fact, it's called a goal.
Oh, it is?
So,
Oh, okay.
It's not like a touchdown or anything like that.
So with like how successful y'all have become, were y'all always this successful, or is it something that the program has grown and become like this, or?
Yeah, well, like any sport, I think it's relative to who's in your division or conference or region, things like that. So I think we've been relatively consistent in the past. This year is definitely the best team I've played with, especially at a college level. So, and taking into consideration a lot of the former teams that we would normally be competing at this year, they've lost a lot of their veterans and things like that. So, yeah, I think we are taking advantage of that fact too. But they have practices every week just like we do, and they're trying to get better as well. I do think we have a lot of advantages that they don't, but I'm sure that they don't use that as an excuse and things like that.
Okay. Where do y'all typically practice at?
We practice at the West Rec Field. So if you know where the soccer stadium is and the new turf complex, it's right kind of sandwiched in between those two venues. And so we play on the grass fields during the fall, and then we typically migrate towards the turf fields in the spring.
Okay.
So do y'all have, is it just one big team of the 35 people, or do y'all have like a team, B team?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good question. We don't have an A or B team, but we do have individuals that are on a particular line, and we utilize offense and defensive lines. So we have a group of guys that we know can play defense particularly well, and they're going to be able to score on a turnover. And then we have a group of guys that we know can take care of the disc and methodically drive down a longer length of field, things like that. So we don't have one particular group that is just good at everything. We have 2 individualized teams that we utilize, and we haven't needed to go into like a kill line, which is what we would call just our best 7 on the field.
So what do you do?
I'm a handler,
Okay.
so I'm in charge of facilitating the offense and distributing the disc. Then you have your cutter, and those are typically younger, more athletic players that maybe don't have all the throws down, but they can catch. And so their job is to get the disc down the field, give it back to a handler, and kind of let that momentum kind of facilitate itself and score, hopefully.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And
so
is
they
this
basically have like passers and catchers.
Yeah.
You can think about it like that.
okay? And is it a co-ed team, male team, female?
Yeah, so in the spring we'll play co-ed tournaments, and so we're able to have ladies play with us too. We have a handful of girls that play with us, and a lot of them have been with us, in particular for a while, 3 or 4 years now. So they're seasoned vets. And then as we get into the spring, we also have the co-ed season as well, so they'll be participating with us too. But we definitely have a larger majority of males on our team.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you want to talk about what this picture is?
Yeah, this is Sunday at Norman, winning first place. Kind of a fun thing about this tournament, the winning team got a spike ball set. So that's what you kind of see here below the banner. And that's the group that we sent out to Norman. And 6-0 is a pretty big deal. Like I said, especially how we won those games and things like that. And so you can see a lot of guys very excited. A lot of these players had their first tournament that weekend,
Really?
collegiately. So that was exciting for them to start the season off on a huge win. And for a lot of the vets, this was just one of the many that they've gone to.
When is y'all's next tournament?
We are going to be going to the UTA tournament on the 19th.
Can your new biggest fans come?
Absolutely.
Cheer you on.
Yeah, it's a 4.5-hour drive.
Want to make a road trip?
Perfect. 4.5-hour drive. That's nothing.
Let's go.
Maybe if I'm in a car with you, that might be a.
I sing Adele in the car, just so you know.
They have airports from Lubbock to the Dallas-Fort Worth area too.
He wants to spend 4 hours with
fine.
me. It's fine. So, but yeah, thank you so much for coming on and telling
Absolutely.
us all about Tech Ultimate. And
Really appreciate you.
Yeah, now I'm gonna be your biggest fan. I'm
There
gonna
you go.
rep all the gear, come to all the
That's
stuff.
what it's all about, fan bases.
So yeah, thank you so much. And guys, tune in next week. We're gonna have more for you. And make sure you go to the UT game this weekend because we're gonna wreck UT, storm the field. Gonna be a repeat of 2008 with a great Crabtree catch.
Amen.
That's all. Bye.